prime example of how you should never think that you're bigger than the project.
A lot of what you see with Zegler is really just a pretty common Gen Z mentality.
The only excuse I can make for her is that she's young, she's immature, she doesn't know any better.
You took on the role, and that job comes with certain basic responsibilities. And one of the most basic is the responsibility to control yourself and comport yourself a certain way publicly so that you don't harm the project, thereby harm all the hundreds of other people who are.
She believes the worst is over. The footage? It's already out for the world to see. The lawsuits? They're already piling up one after another. Her legal team? They're working around the clock, leaving no stone unturned, doing everything in their power to scrub every last piece of this scandal off the internet.
Everyone who hates when I win, the winged victory came to the Louvre in pieces, and people still line up to see her. And I can only hope that despite my flaws, and despite my cracks and my breaks, and there are many of them, that at every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line.
But now Joe Rogan enters the chat, because just days after that now infamous audio clip of Rachel Zegler's backstage Evita outburst starts making the rounds in private theater groups and fan forums, it suddenly explodes onto an even bigger stage, the Joe Rogan experience. And the moment Joe hits play, everything changes. This isn't some throwaway comment. This isn't just a headline he skims. It's a full-blown on-air reaction, raw, unfiltered, and instantly viral.
I don't really hate it. No, I don't hate it.
The leaked audio is already explosive on its own, allegedly recorded during a tense rehearsal break. It captures what sounds like Rachel Zegler completely losing it backstage. She's raising her voice, venting about cast, members and directors, and making the kind of remarks that spark full-scale online meltdowns. The audio quality is rough, the clip is short, but the tone? It's crystal clear. Frustration, tension, maybe even rage. And now, Joe Rogan is all over it.
What's it like to be in a movie telling you Lucy Liu?
It's fucking great. Okay? It's fucking great. I'm honored. I don't know why I sound so angry right now. I'm honored. Am I a psychopath? No, I've been getting a lot of questions about how do I feel? I feel amazing. We start kind of soon, and I'm just like...
In a segment that's already being chopped up and blasted across TikTok, Rogan plays the audio mid-podcast. His reaction is immediate. He leans in, pauses, and then, true to form, he lets it rip. He calls out the drama, the behavior and the chaos rippling through the industry. Within hours, the internet goes into meltdown mode. Split-screen edits, reaction threads, meme compilations, and YouTube shorts titled Joe Rogan Destroys Zegler rack up hundreds of thousands of views overnight. Influencers jump in, commentary explodes, and what started as a niche theater world, controversy erupts into a full-blown cultural flame war. Because when Joe Rogan weighs in, people listen, and this time, his words hit harder than any lawsuit ever could.
Heard of her before. I don't know if this is her first project or if she's done movies like this before or anything that has anything to do with acting. Now she's mad because they didn't fire her from upcoming projects, but you're not a team player. Why would somebody want to hire you when you don't know how to play your parts? Like, you didn't know how to play your part in the movie and in the real world. Let this be a lesson. Let this be a lesson, Rachel Zegler, and to anybody else who think that they are bigger than the project.
So, now the questions shift. What exactly is in that audio that sets Rogan off? Why does this one take land harder than anything that's come before? And how does a single 34-second recording manage to flip the entire Rachel Zegler narrative on its head? Let's rewind the chaos, starting from the very moment the audio leaks to the exact second Rogan hits play. Because this isn't just another podcast segment. This is the viral explosion that launches the scandal into an entirely new stratosphere.
Effects of this.
This is an explosive area of conversation.
Whoa. I didn't expect that. He's looking at me silently. I will respectfully move on. Thank you.
The audio is only 34 seconds long, but it doesn't need to be any longer. It starts mid-chaos. Background voices, scattered footsteps, maybe even the creak of a stage floor. Then, cutting through the noise like a blade, a sharp, emotional voice. Rachel Zegler. It's the most emotional experience that a person can go through, to know that what they're working on is something that's reached a generation of people, she says. This is now I'm a part of that legacy to some degree. It's not something I take lightly. It's just the most emotional experience to see. Her tone is tense. She's not crying or yelling, but her voice is clipped, agitated, tight with frustration. Then comes the line, "I'm not doing this again." Insiders say it's aimed directly at the director. A pause. Then the moment everyone's talking about, she raises her voice. "I'm there 24/7. I can't get out of it. And I don't know if that will make sense, but that's where I'm at. I'm so grateful for the things that I'm able to do, and a lot of what I'm able to do is because of you guys, and I'm so unbelievably thankful for that. It's not just the volume, it's the intensity. It doesn't sound like she forgot her lines or had a rough rehearsal. It sounds personal, and allegedly the target is the production staff, possibly even the director. Reports say she lashes out about not being respected, about being blamed, and one line in particular becomes the internet's new obsession. This isn't their show, it's mine. Arrogance? Stress? Taken out of context? That's what everyone's arguing about. But no matter where people stand, the response is instant. On TikTok, creators break it down line by line. Twitter lights up with debates. Is she unhinged or just under pressure? Some say the clip proves all the nightmare to work with rumors. Others think it shows how deeply the pressure is affecting her. It's a major reason why so many are turned off by Rachel Zegler's attitude and behavior. "I'm not saying she's a mean girl in real life," one user says, "but that attitude, that's what people associate with mean girls." Others chalk it up to her being a theater kid, saying her dramatic style just needs better PR training. But some people are just over it. One TikTok voice puts it like this: "We've been mistreated by girls like that our whole lives. And now we're done. Grown up. And we're done with that energy." Another voice adds, "There's a shift toward more compassion and understanding. Not saying Rachel is a mean girl, but we're just not tolerating those vibes anymore." What makes this leak different from all the others is simple. It's audio only. No blurry visuals to question, no thumbnails, no editor's notes. Just Rachel's raw voice, caught in a moment she clearly didn't expect to be made public. And that's exactly why Joe Rogan's reaction lands with such force. Because when he listens, he's going in with no visuals, no cues, no context, and he calls it what it sounds like to him, a full-on meltdown. The power of this clip isn't in what you see, it's what you hear, and Rogan hears enough to go off. "They're leaning into woke hardcore," he says. "They're petrified of backlash." And now that people are hearing it for themselves, the entire conversation is evolving. It's no longer about a backstage drama, it's about control, exposure, and what happens when someone is caught without a script. So what exactly does Rogan say that sends the internet spiraling? Let's get into it, because when he speaks, it lands like a punch. People are mad at the big head girl, he says. And now, if you notice, they're putting it all on her. I mean, I'm sure she sucks, but she's very young. It kinda sucks that a kid gets put in a position like that. You're young, you've got opinions, but this should just be about the movie. Then he cuts deeper. Let's defend Big Head Girl for a second. The message of the movie is supposed to be that, right? That's what they wrote. A script telling girls, I don't need nobody. I'm 20. I run my mouth. That's the theme. Now. But it's not the same story. As the clip plays in his studio, Rogan just sits back, silent for a beat, eyebrows raised. The room freezes. Then he laughs. Not a full belly laugh, but that tight, incredulous Rogan chuckle. The one that says, "Are you hearing what I'm hearing?" He leans into the mic. That's the clip. That's what everyone's been trying to shut down. And from there, he lets it rip. His guest, another comedian, shakes his head, muttering, "Bro, that's wild." And the floodgates open. Rogan calls the outburst entitled Unhinged, and exactly what happens when someone's never been told no. He says trying to erase the clip only makes it worse, because now everyone wants to hear it even more. And now the cracks are starting to show. Some say Joe Rogan is just piling on, turning one emotional moment into a character assassination. But like it or not, He's now part of the story. This isn't the first time Joe's tossed gasoline onto a celebrity fire. He's weighed in on Will Smith, Meghan Markle, Ezra Miller, but this time it hits different. Maybe because the original audio leak feels so raw, so unfiltered, and clearly never meant for the public. The fact that Rogan plays it, comments on it, and doesn't walk anything back gives the whole scandal a second wind. And fans? They absolutely eat it up. In a world where most celebrities dodge controversy as if it were radioactive, Joe Rogan does the opposite. He walks straight into the fire and lights a match. He doesn't sugarcoat anything or hide behind polished PR speak. Instead, he bluntly says what so many people are already thinking. Like it or not, that straightforwardness is exactly why this moment is blowing up so fast. So the question now becomes, what will Rachel's reaction be to all this? Because if her team was already upset over the original leaked audio, they surely weren't prepared for the aftermath of Rogan's viral response. The moment his reaction hit the internet, it was like someone pulled the pin on a grenade and tossed it squarely into the middle of the Evita controversy. Within hours, TikTok exploded with content. Split-screen edits began popping up, one side showing Rachel's alleged meltdown, the other showing Joe Rogan's face reacting in shock and disbelief. Some creators added dramatic music to his line, "You're not Eva Peron," while others included animated subtitles to maximize viral potential. The hashtag Zegler Meltdown resurfaced, this time paired with Rogan roast. Over on Twitter, the conversation ignited. Influencers who hadn't touched the Rachel Zegler drama before suddenly began sharing opinions, not because of the leaked audio alone, but because Joe Rogan had spoken on it. One viral tweet summed it up perfectly. Wasn't even following the Zegler drama, but if Rogan's talking about it, it's officially huge. And they're not wrong. Rogan's platform isn't niche or limited to Broadway or Hollywood. It's global, chaotic, and deeply emotional. When he reacts, it means the story has broken free from its original bubble. Reddit forums flared up with debates. Fan groups clashed, some applauding Rogan for saying what many were thinking, others accusing him of kicking someone while they're down. What became clear is that Rogan's reaction was like gasoline on an already blazing fire. Even longtime defenders of Rachel began second-guessing themselves, replaying the audio and analyzing her tone. Some tried to justify her behavior, saying, "It's a high-pressure role. Everyone cracks." Others argued, "Yeah, but not like that." YouTube commentary channels jumped on the bandwagon, posting detailed breakdowns. One video titled, "Joe Rogan Just Ended Rachel Zegler's Career in 30 Seconds," racked up 200,000 views within a day. Another called it, "The Final Nail in the Coffin." It's dramatic, yes, but undeniably effective. Parody accounts even joined in, photoshopping Rachel in an Evita costume sitting in Rogan's studio with captions like, "Evita, the Musical," presented by the Joe Rogan Experience. The leak alone was damaging. The cease and desist letters only made it worse. But Rogan's reaction turned this from a scandal into a full-blown spectacle, and it didn't stop at the internet. Rachel's legal team immediately sprang into action. Sources say her attorneys are reevaluating their strategy. While the leaked audio already triggered some damage control, Rogan amplifying it to millions worldwide has changed the game entirely. Now it's no longer about trying to scrub a clip from TikTok. It's about fighting a tidal wave that's already moving faster than they can handle. Insiders reveal the biggest concern is the shift in tone. Before Rogan's podcast, the backlash had been mostly confined to theater gossip and niche YouTube drama. Now it's gone mainstream. News outlets are jumping on Rogan's comments like it's the main story itself. Headlines scream, "Joe Rogan slams Rachel Zegler over leaked audio," or "Zegler drama reignited by Rogan rant." Suddenly, it's not just about an audio leak anymore, it's about momentum. Behind the scenes, Rachel's team reportedly plans a second round of cease and desist letters. This time, not just aimed at those reposting the clip, but also at anyone using Rogan's reaction to keep the story alive. The legal landscape is complicated, though. The original clip may have been leaked without permission, but once it's used in commentary or parody, takedowns get legally tricky. That's what frustrates her team the most. They're scrambling to pivot. They're considering everything, a statement, a controlled interview, or even a response video. But the internet? It's not waiting. Some voices rise in Rachel's defense, claiming she's being cyberbullied by a powerful platform. Others argue that the legal threats only fan the flames, making it look like she's trying to silence criticism instead of owning up. Meanwhile, Rogan moves on. No apology, no retraction, just a few viral quotes, a laugh, and a comment about authenticity you can't fake. Rachel's team is left to clean up the mess, but the damage, it's already done. So let's take a step back and see the bigger picture. This scandal, these leaked audios and explosive reactions, they're part of something larger, something cultural. This isn't just about Rachel Zegler anymore. What we're witnessing, the leaks, the public backlash, the celebrity commentary, is a pattern. A pattern that's devouring Hollywood whole. Because the internet isn't just observing celebrities anymore. It's recording them, reacting in real time, weaponizing every single misstep. Think about it. Years ago, a backstage meltdown stayed backstage. Harsh words, bad rehearsals, those were handled privately. Now, one phone mic, one TikTok upload, one podcast reaction, and your worst moment becomes your entire identity. Rachel Zegler is just the latest. Before her, Ezra Miller. Before that, Amber Heard, Will Smith. Different scandals, same cycle. Something leaks, public reacts. A big voice like Rogan reacts louder, and suddenly the narrative gets locked in. What's scary is how fast it happens. Rachel's stress was building for weeks. Then a clip leaks, a stir, then the audio, then Rogan. And now? It's not a niche issue. It's a cultural flashpoint. People aren't asking, what did she say? They're asking, is this who she really is? And that's brutal, because in 2024, public image isn't built on talent. It's built on moments. And the moment the internet chooses, that becomes who you are. And right now, Rachel's moment is this. The outburst, the clip, the quote. Is that fair? Maybe not, but it's real. And Hollywood is paying attention. Studio heads, publicists, casting directors, they're watching closely. Not because of talent, but because of optics. And with the world's biggest podcaster pouring gasoline on the fire, every exec is asking the same question. Is she worth the risk? That's the danger. Not the leaked audio, not the lawsuits, not even Rogan. The real threat is how quickly this becomes your whole story. And if Rachel doesn't flip the narrative soon, the internet will write the ending for her. So what now? Let's zoom out. Because this isn't just about a podcast clip, it's about survival in an age that never forgets. The timeline tells the whole story. First, the video leaks, then silence, then legal threats, then the audio drops, public opinion splits. But then Rogan reacts, and everything tips. Because when someone with that voice and that reach weighs in, even casually, that's not just opinion. That's narrative control. And suddenly, a spiraling actress becomes a symbol, a headline, a meme, a moment. And the worst part? She never gets the last word. She's silent. Her team's firing off letters. But while she plays defense, Rogan's clip is everywhere, stitched into TikToks, turned into punchlines, referenced in think pieces. It's an opinion, sure, but it sticks. Because in the court of public opinion, the first hit that lands hardest wins, and Rogan's hit like a freight train. So where does Rachel go from here? Can she recover? Maybe, but not without a reset, a big one. She'd need something real. Maybe an interview, maybe an admission. Maybe she just owns it. Because right now, the silence is killing her. And every second she stays quiet, the internet fills in the blanks. So what does this whole thing teach us? Not just about Rachel, but about celebrity today. Fame isn't a shield. A single leak can flatten you. Narrative matters more than truth. And once the internet decides who you are, good luck changing its mind. No moment is private anymore. Not backstage, not off mic, not even in rehearsal. It's harsh, but it's the reality. And that's why this story is gripping people. Because it's not just a drama, it's a test. a public figure trying to survive a digital minefield in real time. And for Rachel Zegler, her next move is the most important of her entire career. Will she fight? Will she vanish? Will she reinvent? We don't know yet. But what we do know is this. The internet is watching. Rogan is talking. And this story? It's not over. Because if we've learned anything from scandals like this, it's that there's always one more leak, one more twist, one more reaction, and the loudest moment still might be coming.